So today we're going to do digital marketing evaluation. And now that we have the digital strategy ready, we know what platforms we are targeting on. We know these are our campaigns. These are the digital marketing campaigns we'll be running on these platforms. And now the campaign is running. We have to evaluate all of it, right? That how well our strategy performed, how well this platform performed, and how well did this campaign perform, right? And within this, we will also cover. I mean, I love to have given a little bit of practical side of the aspect as well. So I've also included a Google Analytics dashboard. So those of you who haven't seen it or used it already would have a basic glimpse of what is Google Analytics, so that you guys are confident when you go out, that you know what is Google Analytics all about and why do you use it and how do you draw insights from it. So what is digital marketing? Can somebody tell me what is digital marketing? Quickly.
Selling of products on social media through using of internet.
Using of internet, sharing of products on social media. Anyone else?
Using a digital way to create a platform for new brands. Instead of creating it in a digital way, the traditional way में करने के बजाय हर चीज को digitally convert करना है digital marketing.
Great. So let's just see what is digital marketing. Like we studied in our first to second session, it is a two-way channel for interacting with customers, which you're right that it's a digital way, which is different from the traditional way, which was the one-way broadcasting of an information where we're not caring about how customers perceive it and what are their impressions or feedback about it. It's a two-way channel where you're marketing your product, but also you're receiving real-time feedback. And also conversation and communication and their impressions as well. So what are the digital marketing mediums? Website, web search, email, social media, and blogs. So all of these are the digital marketing mediums. So when we talk about digital marketing evaluation, it means evaluation of all of these platforms. If we are using it, if our digital marketing strategy involves any of these platforms, then we have to evaluate them as well. So email marketing metrics, we have covered it in the last session, right? Today we are going to cover website and social media. So what is digital marketing evaluation? It is to evaluate the success of a digital marketing campaign on each of these mediums, right? So all of these mediums, you have to evaluate. If you're using any of these mediums, you have to evaluate your digital marketing campaign for that medium. So this is measuring the effectiveness of websites. So how would you measure the effectiveness of your website? Success of any website is measured with the following three questions. You have to ask three questions from yourself. One is traffic, that if you have a website, does it generate traffic? Okay? Are there enough visitors to your website? So if you have a traffic, if the first question is yes, then the follow-up question is, okay, you're getting the visitors, but are these enough visitors? Okay? And then a little bit detail of those visitors, that are these your intended targets? Like when we were talking about Instagram followers, we were discussing that, are these relevant followers, right? If not, then maybe there's no use of those followers. It may have a good impact that somebody has a 10 million followers, but then again, are these relevant? Are they helping your selling your product or not? So this is the same for also for website visitors as well. The number two is conversion, right? So does your website drive conversion? So for instance, we have traffic, we have enough traffic. we have the traffic we have are our intended targets, okay? But does those targets are then converting into leads for are driving the sales of your product, or are looking forward to the service you are providing, right? Does your website drive conversion? Does it attract visitors to engage in a desired behavior, right? So what is the desired behavior? What is the objective of putting your website out there? Is it an e-commerce website, or website which is selling a product, or is it a service provider, right? So why is your website there? So if your website is there, and is it achieving the purpose of your objective of putting that website on your search engine, right? So does it attract visitor to engage in a desired behavior, such as sign up or content engagement? So one of the things is, if you have a blog, for instance, and you are directing your followers from Instagram account to your blog, okay? So that is mean you're trying to engage more of your audience and converting it to your website so that they get more engaged with your content. Or maybe you are then launching your own newsletter where you're asking people to sign up. So that could also be a conversion. And number 3, does it generate revenue? So see, the whole purpose of why we are doing something, right? Why we're looking out for work, why we're looking out for freelancing, why we are even learning these skills, is to, sustain yourself, or is to generate revenue. Eventual purpose of, why are you out there selling your product or a service, is to generate revenue. There's, of course, that has to be beneficial for both parties, but the ultimate objective over there, that is generating revenue. So eventually, does it help generating your, and it could be like, we discussed. So for instance, if you don't have a product, if you don't have a service, you're a blogger, how would you generate revenue? And doing paid partnership and sponsored content, but also, how do you generate revenue from your website? Like we talked about, selling banner ads, for instance, so you will sell, you will put banner ads on your website if you can show that you have these many of visitors per day, and they are relevant visitors for this kind of a product or a service. So you can go to different companies, or you can DM different people who are selling a product or a service, and say that I have this space, I can sell it for this amount of money, right? And you can put your ad on my website. So this could be one of the things how you can generate revenue. So this is how we are going to evaluate a website. So for KPI 1, we were talking about, does it generate traffic? You have to further understand what kind of traffic it is generating. Is it a direct traffic? What is the direct traffic? It is when people directly type your URL of your website. Okay, so www.bkinnovation.org. That's a direct traffic I'm getting. Then there's a referral traffic. What is a referral traffic? From those kind of clicks which traffic you're getting from other social media page or any other site, right? So for instance, if my website is mentioned on any other website, so that's a referral traffic, or any other social media page. So please remember, referral traffic constitutes both. It constitute traffic you are receiving from social media pages, which could be Facebook, Instagram account. If you have that many of followers, it allows you to have a link on your account, Twitter, but also any other website or any other platform as well. So for instance, if I've written an article on Medium, and then I'm referring that article to Beacon Innovation, for instance, I've written an article on digital marketing on medium.com, and I was like, if you like any of these services, or if you want to read more about it, please visit our blogs here. So if I'm getting that traffic from medium.com, that's also a referral traffic. Then there is a search traffic. What is search traffic? Search traffic is when somebody land on your website through the search engine results page, SERP, right? Search engine results page, we also discussed it. Can somebody quickly tell me what is SERP? As you have to participate today. so that I know that I have delivered and you guys have learned something.
Ma'am, it is search engine result page.
Yeah, it is, but how do you, I mean, how do you get it? How do you get there?
I think for example, someone type a word on Google and or बहुत सारी website pop up हो जाए and then they find about your website.
True. So when you
and they click on it.
Great. Who was that?
I'm Sahar.
Sahar, yes, that's right, Sahar. So when you, for example, when a customer or somebody who needs some information or product or a service, he writes about it, and then Google shows multiple results. That's a sub page. Okay, it's a results page. And your website appears in that sub page, and if a customer clicks on it and reaches to your website, that is search traffic. Okay, that's clear? Then we are a little bit trying to understand the difference between direct traffic, referral traffic, and search traffic, because it helps us understand what kind of customers are we getting. So understanding direct traffic, if your brand or your website is getting a direct traffic, that means that it determines brand recognition and brand loyalty, right? So for instance, remember, if you're talking about clothing brands, for instance, I don't know how many of you have interest in that, but because there's a winter volumes coming out now. So, if I see a story for Instagram story of one of those brands, right, then I also search others that if unka volume aa gaya ki nahi aa gaya, theek hai? So what I do is that I go to Google and directly write there www.this.com, and that, of course, that page would come up, and I direct. So that's because I know about that brand, because I also wear that brand. So that is my loyalty to it, and that that brand has a recognition, right? So that is why you get direct traffic. A good domain name can also help. So how can you boost your direct traffic? You have a good domain name which is striking, but also which is not so much difficult that spelling issues na ho, is tarah se difficulty usme hum nahi kare, but it's a good and easy name, and also striking towards you, right? Direct traffic can be boosted by advertising campaigns and offline marketing campaigns. So how can you boost direct traffic? So for instance, when I'm not sure if how many of you have observed this. I also talked about it. I also talked about Garana.com. When Garana came in as a competitor of Zameen.com, so what happened is that they had billboards from I think from Bharia till motorway side, and initially they just had a logo on it. Okay, that something is coming and something exciting and whatever. And then eventually eventually they did a property festival, but before that they also put just the website garana.com, right? And then you would see that this is an offline advertising campaign. They used billboard. But then because you were people who were curious at what's coming, what is it, what is this logo about? This logo had a bird in it. It's like you can't really say that it could be a property, something related to property. And then they have another round where they put grana.com everywhere and somebody can go and search it. So this is how you can boost your direct traffic. And eventually they launched a property festival, so people would care about it, that oh theek hai yaar, ye isse related. So for instance, TV ads, billboard, so all of these, if you are using these strategies, they promote your brand awareness, and usme aap URLs ko focus karte hain basically. Remember, direct traffic is the result of deliberate or well-rehearsed behavior, right? So it doesn't come in a day or two. ये आपकी internalize हो जाती है आपको एक चीज that you, so for instance facebook.com, ठीक है, अभी तो हमें Google allow कर देता है कि हमें अब apps आ गई हैं, या initially when you used to do used to have desktops, और Google अब तो खैर वो पिन कर देता है, but generally फिर भी अभी भी हम यही करते हैं कि हम, for instance, Gmail है, Gmail, we just write gmail.com और हमारा अकाउंट खुल जाता है, right? So basically हम ये हमारा एक over the years ये हमारी एक habit बन गया, internalize हो गया ये हमारा behavior. So this is, if you're getting direct traffic, of course that's the best thing you would ever receive. You're getting the attention and awareness. So now this is Google Analytics dashboard, and a little bit of overview of that is whenever you have a website, Google Analytics dashboard is only for measuring or drawing insights about your websites. Okay, measuring the success or evaluating your website or campaigns, right? So if you have a website, you connect your Google Analytics. I mean, it's not very difficult. It's very, if you have an email address, आपको वहाँ पे जो आपको different options आती हैं, forms की और Google Drive की, उसी में आपको नीचे जाके analytics का ये sign नजर आ रहा होता है basically. Or you can go to Google, आप अपना क्रोम खोलें और आप उसमें एनालिटिक्स, गूगल एनालिटिक्स लिख दें, ठीक है? आप उसके ऊपर जो है अपना अकाउंट रजिस्टर करेंगे, जिस अकाउंट को आपने अपनी वेबसाइट से कनेक्ट भी किया होगा, ठीक है? सो यू कनेक्ट, ये आपको एक टैग अलाउ करता है, वो टैग, उस टैग के थ्रू आप अपनी वेबसाइट को कनेक्ट कर लेते हैं, एंड देन व्हाटएवर देन वेबसाइट ट्रैफिक यू आर रिसीविंग, वो आपको एनालिटिक्स डैशबोर्ड पे शो होना शुरू हो जाता है. There's also a plugin website पे हम generally different plugins use करते हैं इसको connect करने के लिए, and one of the plugins primarily used is Monster Insights, जो आपका वो Google Analytics का tag जो है वो receive कर लेता है, और हम उसको उसमें different options है जिसमें हम check कर लेते हैं कि it's a universal property and then we want to measure all of these things from the websites. Okay, so then you don't have to go to the website ka dashboard ya website ka backend again and again. You just have to open your email, or email mein jaake aap Google Analytics pe jao aur aapke paas ye pura dashboard open ho jata hai, right? So this is a screenshot of that. So there's a home customization. You can know what is your real-time audience. You can know further about your audience. But here we're talking about traffic. So traffic jo hai, it comes under acquisition, right? कि आपने acquire किया traffic, right? But how did you acquire it? So हम all traffic में जाके channels पे जब click करते हैं तो आपको बता रहा है कि these are all the channels, right? So इसके अंदर जो direct traffic आ रही है, this is how did you acquire. So आपको percentage भी दे रहा है कि इतने % of जो आपके this is for 1 week, these stats are for 1 week. ये आप set कर सकते हैं, you need yesterday stats, 1 week stats, a month stats, right? So this is for 1 week. So in the last 1 week, we have received 13% of the visitors were from direct traffic, right? So this is how it's. And then again, there's referral traffic. Referral traffic, like I said, was from any other site or from any social media page. There are two types of referral traffic. One is paid. So for instance, if I put an ad on Facebook and on that ad, I give a link of my website, that's a paid traffic. It measures, so what does a paid traffic measures? It measures, it is a direct measure of the success of these channels. So whatever channels are you using, it measures that were these advertising on that channel was successful or not. And then unpaid visitors, unpaid referral traffic, which is if somebody is organically landing on your page. It is a good measure of brand's influence and reputation. So organically landing means that you have not put any ad, but for instance, if I have a Facebook page and I have so many followers and I'm putting a product out there, उसमें मैं अपना एक product का link, which is basically my website, right? उस पे दे देती हूँ. So what will happen is so what will happen is that जो आपकी organic traffic count होगी. So you don't have an ad, but you have a post with your website URL on it and people are clicking on it. So it is a good measure of brand. So it means that you have a so good brand reputation and influence that you don't have to put an ad, you don't have to allocate a budget for it. or spend money on it. So from the referral traffic is here. I told you that it is social media pages plus other websites, right? So that is what, so for instance, if you have a so good brand influence or brand reputation, that if a blogger is writing about it and they are giving you a mention right on their website, and somebody clicks on that and land on your website. Okay, so that's also a referral traffic. So this is how you would know on your dashboard that how many referrals are you receiving. Then there is understanding search traffic. Traffic that comes to a site, like I said, from the sub page, it is a good measure of the success of search engine optimization. So here your SEO efforts count. For example, a website with low organic search traffic, but high paid search traffic may want to rethink its strategy, right? So what is happening here is that you have your organic search traffic is very low, right? But you're paying a lot for your website to appear in one of the top pages. Then it means that it's a short-term strategy and you have to keep paying for it. So it's always good that you have to keep a balance, but meanwhile your website isn't coming on the top pages, you can put an ad, but your eventual goal is that your budget on is reducing over the period of time for the paid traffic, and you're increasing over the period of time for the organic traffic. That's your asset basically, right? So so this is search traffic, and here is organic search. So you see, so this website, what this is one of our clients, they have the most traffic they receive is organically through search engine optimization. And because we also provide them SEO services basically. So this is our job as well, that their pages are landing on one of the top pages, for all of their whatever product they are selling, right? So this is our, we also count it as our success. And how we do it, that because we charge them monthly, for instance. So what happens is that we see that how number of users or number of organic traffic that we are receiving organically is increasing over the period of time. So it's more than the last month, for instance. So, and also our ranks of our pages on search engines are also improving. So that's how we measure our efforts towards our client. Then the second KPI is conversion. So what is a conversion? A conversion is whatever action you want your visitor to take. Okay? So it can be defined in many different ways, depending what website you have. If you have an e-commerce website, what would be the conversion? Can anyone tell me what would be the conversion if it's an e-commerce website? Guys, it's written on the screen. It could be, no, Mariam, I cannot hear you, sorry. So Isma is right that it could be add to cart, right? That could be a conversion. It depends what your goal is. Your goal is add to cart, number of add to carts, or your goal is that somebody is putting his or her, card information, debit or credit card information, or someone is making a purchase, actual purchase when they check out. So it depends. And if you're putting a Facebook ad as well, वो आपसे पूछता है कि add to cart है आपका conversion, आप किस चीज को conversion count करना चाहते हैं, add to cart को करना चाहते हैं या making a purchase को count करना चाहते हैं, ठीक है? So it depends. So for e-commerce, it could be add to cart and final purchase. If you're a blogger, for instance, you have a newsletter, so your the number of people who are subscribing to your newsletter, it could be a conversion. Or if you have a sign-up form where you're asking people to sign up for this course, for instance, or for this product which is about to launch, you can also call that a conversion. It's okay, Mariam. It's okay. You can type your answers into the chat. So then as number of people who made a referral after visiting a website. Okay, so there's another, aspect to the conversion, which is that if, for instance, somebody has visited your website and then they will make a referral, maybe they are, sharing it on their social media, and then their website is getting, that website is getting clicks. So that's a referral. Okay. And you could count number of referrals as your conversion as well, because maybe you have hired a blogger or influencer who and that he or she has shared your website or your product on their Facebook account, for instance, and you're getting links from that. So that could be conversion as well, that for instance you have hired them, or you are paying that if I'd get these many of referral links from your post, for instance, clicks, website clicks, and I'll pay you this, right? So आप एक target set कर लेते हैं उनके साथ, तो फिर आपकी ये conversion count हो सकती है. What is a conversion rate? It is a percentage of visitors who convert, is called the conversion rate. It is one of the most critical indicators of a retail website success. So a retailer, for instance, a grocery shop है, एक clothing shop है, उनके लिए conversion rate बहुत important होता है. या even आपके mobile covers हैं, stationery है, all of these is. Always define conversion in a specific context against a clearly defined campaign goal. So again, guys, what is your digital marketing goal? ठीक है, आप what are you selling? उस context में आप अपनी conversion define करें, and it has to be a balance. आप अगर for instance आपने number of purchases को conversion रख लिया ना, कि आपने इतने आपने sales करने हैं, इतने आपके checkouts होंगे, तो उसमें आप थोड़ा सा अपने आप को वो इक्वल नहीं रख सकते टू add to cart, for instance. आपके add to cart हमेशा, and this is by experience I'm telling, that all add to carts doesn't lead to checkouts, right? So your add to cart may be 15, but your actual checkout could be 3 or 4. So आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि मेरे 15 add to carts होंगे और मेरे 15 ही checkouts होंगे. So remember that your goals are realistic. Like we talk about, they're smart. कि आप अपने आप को इतना मतलब, और आप अगर if you're working for a client, you're not committing that much, कि आप उसको देखें तो सेल्स की प्रोडक्ट की रीच कितनी है, उसकी एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी कितनी है मार्केट में. आप सिर्फ just because you're taking a project and say कि नहीं हम आपको इतनी conversions करा देंगे, but that would earn a bad repute or bad name for your for your company, if it's a company, or for you as a consultant. So you have to be very realistic about it. And then, is it generating a revenue, right? So revenue is an important KPI for the website. Revenue, it may or may not arise from as a result of conversion. For example, if it's a retail store or an e-commerce store, and your conversion goal is checkout, then it would result in a revenue generation. However, if your conversion goal is newsletter subscription, then it won't result into revenue generation. In order to measure the success of your website, you have to choose between these 3 indicators. Now we are concluding the digital marketing website evaluation part. So amongst traffic, conversion, on revenue, these 3 KPIs, you have to very strategically think about it. What should be the goal of your, what should be the key performance indicator for your website? It should depend and link to the goal of your website and the goal of your marketing campaign.